Welcome to Small Talk with Kenya and Dawn. I'm Dawn.
And I'm Kenya.
So today we are here. We have a brand new topic that we're going to be talking about. And our topic today is, are you a convenience? I know that's probably hit some people before to wonder, are they someone's convenience or are you someone's constant? Yeah. So I don't know why I just said that, but okay, but we're gonna focus on the convenience portion. So are you someone's convenience? When you think about being someone's convenience, and we're talking about right now we'll just start off with relationships.
Okay.
And are you there? Do you make yourself available for that person? When you think about it, what comes to mind for you?
From the outside looking in, that they're just using that person. Possibly being on the inside, I think I would be questioning why I'm only a part of your life at specific times. Yeah.
I think that's a great point that you just made. One thing is I'm wondering is, why do we allow it to happen?
Ooh.
Why do we allow that to happen? When you're thinking of someone's convenience, and I'm thinking about people dating. People that are in relationships, been in relationships for a long time, but they're not married. They've kind of, like what we said before about, you've kind of settled, but that person is, even just say that they're hopefully they're living separately, that they're not living together, and they're not married. But when you call on the phone, are you, hey, I gotta get to the phone. He's calling, she's calling. Am I always just making myself available for that person when it's convenient for them? What type of an investment is that person making into the relationship? But why do we do that? Why do men and women allow themselves to get caught up in that situation?
I always think about going back to the root of the problem, because I think when we really fully know who we are and our value in who we are, I think it's hard for someone to slide into something like that. So I'm gonna go back to maybe trauma that may have left them feeling vulnerable or unwanted, unloved. I'm not an option to anybody. So whatever comes my way, I just have to really take it because I don't have any other prospects. So I would just say go back to the root of the problem, because I don't know. But my opinion is, someone who is strong-willed, strong-minded, I know who I am. My first thought is looking for red flags of, no, you're not going to use me.
Yeah.
If you're only calling at certain times, you want me to be inconvenienced for you. I would just think that someone who doesn't have a void they're trying to fill would kind of spot that as a red flag and like, no, I'm not going to do that.
It's like that expectation is there that they'll be there no matter what is going on. But when you said get to the root of the problem, and I think a lot of times people are looking to be loved. They're looking for love. And going backwards, did they receive it at home? Did they watch a parent go through the same thing? That's what kind of just starts going through my mind. And then that pattern of behavior is going to continue, because I'm thinking like, and I'm just using a single mom. And she's, meets someone, but he's still out doing whatever he wants to. But then he'll pick up the phone and call you when it's convenient for him. And then you allow that person to treat you as a convenience, and they're really not valuing the relationship. I think about how that man has seen the father absent from the home. And he could have done the same thing with his children, just popping in whenever you feel like it, because it's convenient for you. You're out, your family may be home, the children that you've left at home, and the woman that's there, the mother of the children, they're struggling. But you pop in and out whenever you feel like it. Or the ones that are paying, child support. Let me kick you $5 or $10 here just so I won't go to jail. That's that's a whole different
Yeah,
story in itself. But it happens.
Yeah.
But then you come back around because that's convenient for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes women, and I'm just speaking for women, is you want your family.
Mm-hmm.
You want to have that family dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
You want your children to be able to have their father.
Yeah.
So you allow yourself to be that convenience for that man. Nowhere, I don't believe that it's right. I don't condone that type of behavior at all. And even with being a single mother, I think that if a woman is good enough to lay down with, I think she's good enough to marry. Absolutely. She should not be your convenience. And if you're going to engage in that type of activity, then what's wrong with making her your wife?
Right. But you said something at the beginning, the pattern that they may have seen, and the example of the single mom that just feels like I have to because I don't have any other options. We're just repeating that pattern.
Yep.
And I think sometimes we have to really understand our worth. But I always go back to something that that I struggled in, but I didn't actually see it till after I came out of it. But that period of being by yourself, getting to know yourself is so important because, and let's just use the single mother, your life is so busy. Where are you in it? You're making so many things happen. You're working, you're taking care of the house, you're taking care of the kids, you're taking care of everything that comes attached to the kids. Where are you in that dynamic? So I think sometimes instead of settling, take that time to settle, to be alone with yourself. To really, and I didn't learn this till I really kind of grew into myself, but to really prepare yourself to be a wife, because we have to understand that there's a period that we have to go through. And I'm gonna use this word, but I want to use it very lightly because I don't think we completely do it all the time. We have to purge ourselves from that lifestyle that we were in. Absolutely. To get ourselves together. And I think once we purge ourselves from that lifestyle, we start to look different. We may still be a single parent, but I am not just a single parent. Right. I'm a good woman. I look like I could be a good wife. I am being a good mother to my child. I'm running my household. So I think sometimes if we just take a step back or stop trying to fill that void of I don't have anybody, I don't have many options, so I'm just gonna choose him. Make sure that when they do this, that you're making yourself available to be, or at least perceive as a wife. Yeah, I think it's important to do that, to shed off that old skin. Yeah. Get rid of those things that aren't good. But I also think in that, when you're making those changes, put some requirements on people. Oh, absolutely. Don't allow yourself to be used. I think that's a big thing that we don't do, because it's like we're just willing to accept anything and we're not making requirements for people. And it's not an ultimatum. Right. I don't want to get that confused and say, well, you're saying that you have to give out an ultimatum. No, it's not an ultimatum. I think people are making new norms. That they think everybody has to comply with, and that's just not so. No, because I still have to. I always had to. Years ago, I had to remind myself that I'm still lovable. I still deserve. And I think a lot of times we get caught up in life doing that. We end up settling because we don't give ourselves the opportunity to be in that position. So I think instead of accommodating new norms, we don't have to say it's an ultimatum, but certain things I'm just not going to comply with, and I don't have to. No, and you have to be okay with that, so you can stand in it. Even if 3 people that come to you that you may think you just have to have because there's nobody else, you don't have to let that be a norm to disrupt your life. Because I mean, we got to think about the latter part of it. If we settle, what are we gonna end up with?
Yeah. If we end up settling, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen? But when you allow yourself to be that convenience, you have settled.
You have.
You've made the
yeah.
decision to settle.
Yep.
The cycle, it doesn't stop. Unless if you have children and they're looking at it, it becomes normal for them.
Yeah.
Unless that child is almost an anomaly and is like, well, I'm not gonna live like this because I see how my mom is hurting. I see her tears when she closes the door. I hear her crying because she really wants to, be with this person, but they only call her when they want something specifically.
Yeah. And she waiting.
Ooh. And you know what? We're in the month of February right now, and I just got to throw this out there. We're in the month of February. We all know what season it is.
Yeah.
Until April 15th rolls around.
Oh, yes. I'm thinking love.
No, ma'am.
I gotcha.
It's not a season of love.
Gifts.
No, ma'am. It's a season of being booed up. Because the tax check then came in.
Yeah.
And how many women have I've seen? Oh my goodness, I've seen this so many times, and you could just tell because he just so extra.
Yeah.
Just falling all over her. Just can't wait.
Yeah.
Y'all in Walmart just shopping.
Yeah.
What in the world?
Yeah.
But it happens. You have now become that man. You're convenient for him.
Yeah.
Because he knows that you got that tax money that's coming. But it's like, what? How do you not see this? How are you not understanding this? Why are you able to accept this type of behavior? That's not acceptable.
Well, I think it feels good in that moment. I'm craving this thing, and you're giving me what I'm craving. And now, when some time passed, I'm right back in that same cycle again.
Yeah.
And that's why, we started talking, I started saying from the beginning, we got to go back to the root of the problem. Because I am learning, I am trying to get to the point where I am celebrating counseling for just myself by myself. Because I think we have to really understand, I'm going to have to use this word I heard in Bible study that kind of choked me up a little bit. We keep falling in these patterns because of residue. And we sitting over here, February to April, I'm in love. Kids can't even get my attention. When May, I'll give it to about July, because then it's really hot. Holiday getting ready to pop up. Now they trying to go and do their own thing.
Yeah, because you got to get that 4th of July outfit.
So after that, now you sit back over here in your same pattern. So I think we got to learn to really seriously, and I know people may feel, I don't know. I think people may just feel like that thing that has been controlling me, I have control of it, and you don't even know what it is. But that residue keep coming back. So now I'm a convenience in my personal life. I'm a convenience in my professional life. I'm a convenience in my social life, because that's all I know how to be in order to get that thing I crave.
Yeah. But it also takes me back to that Jezebel spirit. Someone that views you as a convenience. For me, I believe that Jezebel spirit has not only attached themselves, but they've taken up residence. That's not normal behavior. That's not Christ-like behavior to treat someone that way.
No.
It's not.
But it's so easy for people to do it.
It is.
It is so easy for people to do it. And people have no remorse in doing it.
No.
It's just like, again, new norms. And I'm like, but even from the perspective, the example you gave with the single mother, we have to be very, very careful with that, because I have to say it again. You mentioned it, patterns, and we're teaching these little sponges that this is okay behavior.
Yeah.
And you should never be just a convenience for someone when you know, or you have to learn that you're worth more than that.
Yeah, but it starts at home.
It does.
And I'm gonna go just a little bit off topic, but I just want to give you an example of how things start at home. I was looking at this video yesterday or today. I think it was actually last night, and it was a mother. I don't know if she was a single mom. I just know she was a mom. Her son, little boy, looked like he couldn't have been no more than maybe 7 or 8, and he had been disrespectful to the teacher. Mom came down there with a belt, pulled him out, tore his little butt up, right? And then she started calling him names. And it broke my heart because it was the F-bomb, it was the N-word, and it just, I can see you getting on to a child, you discipline when they've been disrespectful to their teachers, you know, whatever. But then when you started with the name calling, and I'm thinking to myself, you're labeling this child with these names, and you're calling him things that are deplorable. And we wonder why we have the behaviors that we do out of our young men that grow into grown men. That would be a perfect example of how that child's environment would allow him to be disrespectful to a woman because his mother is disrespecting him. So he's going to flip that. He's going to turn that thing around, and he's going to put it back on that woman again. That name calling is going to start. All those things that we're talking about, that behavior is going to start with that child. That mother has not broken anything. She's made it worse. And she's made it worse for her son because her son is not going, I can't see where that child is going to thrive.
He's not going to respect her.
No.
He's going to resent her. He may have some hatred in his heart for her. And who knows? I mean, once he get big enough to be looking her in the eye, who's to say he may not try her?
That's right.
You know, I mean, I don't know. There's so many possibilities of, you know, it's so cliche, hurt people. But there's truth to that. And, you know, we've all said, you know, our parents did the best they could with what they had. But we have to do a better job with helping people understand
That's right.
that there's a better way to do things.
It is.
You know, it's okay to have the knowledge and the wisdom from mama and auntie and all of those people. But we have to really, truly think about, okay, they did it because they were limited. We can still use some of their wisdom, but we have to do things better. Because as you said, that little boy is going to be a grown man that's going to be out in the community. And how productive is he going to be? He's
not going to be productive.
You know, he's going to become a convenience for somebody else. And then he's going to be wreaking havoc in that convenience.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You just see how it just completely blows up. The stuff, it doesn't just sit in your household. Your behavior trickles down and comes all the way out into the world. You're causing more harm to your children than what you are good.
Absolutely.
But you can see how that's going to evolve, and that child has the potential. And I really hope that baby, his pathway is moving differently. I really hope that for him. But in a lot of cases, it's not going to happen that way. And you see now why that child is going to be disrespectful and feel like a woman is going to be his convenience.
And that other thing with single mothers when the father is absent,
Mm.
but pops in periodically.
Mm-hmm.
And as that child grows,
Yeah.
and the great things that that child do,
Mm-hmm.
then conveniently I want to pop in and take credit for nothing I contributed.
That's right. That's right.
It's just a whole vicious cycle.
It is. It's a bad cycle. It's a horrible cycle,
Yeah,
and I just feel so bad for these children.
Yeah.
But I mean, I look at it in our generation.
Yeah.
It's not just the ones that are coming up now,
Mhm.
but it's happened it's happened in our generation. It's happened before,
Right.
you know, in our generation.
Mhm.
It's been going on for years.
Mhm.
It's been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's a thing that has been, I watched it.
Mm.
I watched it. And I watched people be hurt.
Mm.
I watched it. I've seen children come out of situations where the father treated her as a convenience. And the relationships have not been good relationships. And it's taken time for things to be better. And it wasn't an easy movie to watch.
Mm.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was painful. And it's like, what do you do with that emotion?
Yeah.
How are you supposed to feel? And I'm telling you, it was like a horror movie that you just can't turn off.
Wow.
It's one that you just cannot. It's like you can't turn the volume down.
Wow.
You can't turn it down. You can't turn it off. You gotta sit through it. You gotta sit through it.
Man.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah.
And all
Very
them
bad.
emotions. How do you compartmentalize all of that stuff that's going on with that?
This is what I've found out with certain things. When you compartmentalize some stuff and you don't deal with it, it's gonna resurface. And you're gonna deal with it in a different way.
Yeah.
And it's probably not, unless you go and maybe possibly get some professional help, it's going to be hard to get through some of those things. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You gotta deal with things. I mean, it's painful.
Yeah.
But it's things that you gotta deal with.
Yeah.
It's things you have to. Yeah. So we kind of hit on the man side.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to take a break here, and we're going to come and we're going to talk about some things from the woman's side of how she can make a man her convenience. So we got some topics, we got some things we got to hit with that one as well. So again, we're just going to take a break here. Please go to our website, jordanchristiancenter.com. You'll find the Sunday school lessons that are there. You'll find the email address if you need to reach us for anything as far as like getting information and just some of the stuff that we do. And our YouTube channel. Go to that channel, which you are here right now. I can't even get my words right because I got so much in my head right now. But like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so that you know when Small Talk with Kenya and Dawn comes on, which premieres every Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. So until then, have a great day.